Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. Guides and spirit team, what do we got for Taurus? In early November, it's Scorpio season. What's happening? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus in early November. What's the vibe here? What's the energy around us, please? There we go. Thank you. Okay. So we have the alchemist here. That is a big focused attention for one reason or another. This is one of the cards that I do link to Virgo energy, but to me, it's like really meticulous. It's a highly focused and layered type of energy we're picking up here in the front, and it can be very good. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this bald-headed individual. They have the alchemical symbol of the sun right there on their third eye. So it does speak about someone that is illuminated or very knowledgeable, knows a lot of things, and notice that he is looking right at that potion, the creation. So to me, this is a card of creation. It's a card of manifesting. So for a lot of Tauruses, know that you could really bring a lot of stuff towards you in this time. It feels very magnetic. But at the same time, there's something here about focus. So maybe there's a situation that you're hyper-focused on. Maybe there's something Spirit wants you to take a closer look at. It all really depends on what you're going through, but something could need your attention when this card shows up. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of different ways the energy can flow when we have this alchemist. I do also link it to the hermit. So maybe some Tauruses in this time, your energy feels a little more withdrawn, pulled back, doing your own thing. That could be very possible. But another thing I always say with this card, since he is looking at that potion so closely, you might be under the microscope of somebody. Someone might be watching your moves, or maybe you're watching someone. That could be very possible. So we're just going to leave him over there. He could keep making his potions. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. What do we have here for Taurus, please? And yeah, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very positive energy I was picking up last week. The reading was titled A Massive Win, so I hope you had one. Now, I always say that wins come in all different shapes and sizes, whether it's career, some of it could be health-wise, some of it could be interpersonal relationships, you name it. But I did feel a really good positive energy moving towards Taurus, so hopefully that bleeds over for you for a couple weeks, because energy can definitely do that. But let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Taurus friends. What is happening in early Scorpio season, early November for Taurus? Thank you. All right. Ace of Cups. That's good. That's a good start. I mean, you're starting better than the other Earth signs this week. That's for sure. Let's hope that it holds up. But I really like this Ace of Cups. There's a lot of potential here. It's a lot of potential. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here for Taurus, please? Thank you. And I just went on this whole spiel about how this alchemist is very similar to the hermit that I link it to Virgo. You got the hermit in position number 2. I mean, divination and cards, they blow my mind sometimes, and that's why I love it so much. Let's get one more. See what we have here for Taurus, please. Cute. Emperor. Now, this is a card that some people even link to you. I mean, I link it to Aries, but it could be that early Taurus cusp area as well. And we'll talk about that. Lots of powerful energy here, my friends. Strong energy of authority here on the back end. So yeah, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I'm cautiously optimistic with what I'm seeing here. Elementally, we have some water, we have some earth, we have some fire. So it is a nice mixture of things. So for some Tauruses, this could be different situations, different things. And it's interesting that this hermit looks like he's looking at the potion, right? Very similar to this alchemist. So like maybe some of these themes are going to keep re-emerging, but there's a lot of like authority here on the back end. There's a lot of control. So I'm liking what I'm feeling so far. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, once again, we are starting with the Ace of Cups. Now, I always say all aces are beautiful energies. They represent offers, they represent opportunities. Sometimes an ace could just represent a talk or a conversation. Now, they are all of different suits and they react differently. The Ace of Cups is a softer energy. It can represent love, care, emotion. So for some Tauruses, maybe you're feeling a little more emotional than you normally do. Maybe you're feeling a little more soft and cuddly than you normally do when this card is here as well. It's usually a very good thing. Aces have so much potential. But that brings us to what the challenge of these cards could be. When we see aces and pages and very new types of cards, they're not a lock. They're not a guarantee. This is something that's in its early stages that still needs a lot of attention, needs a lot of focus. So for a lot of Tauruses out there, maybe there's something that still needs a little more attention from you. That's possible with this card because aces are limited time only and they're not a guarantee. So we'll see what it is. It's not fully developed just yet. But again, for some of you, it could just be as simple as it being a talk or a conversation, an emotional outpouring. But I like the Ace of Cups. Now, moving to the center, we have a totally different vibe starting to show up. We have the Hermit. So a portion of you, maybe you have some Virgo placements yourself. Maybe you're connected to a Virgo or two. The Hermit is a withdrawn, pulled back type of energy. So a lot of similarities with that alchemist we were seeing in the beginning. So for some of you, maybe you're just in hermit mode. Maybe you're doing your own thing. Maybe you're spending a lot of time at the house, or you're just laying low. That's what I think of when I see this Hermit. It's laying low. It's kind of the opposite of what I'm picking up here in the front, where this one's a little more emotionally expressive. This one's a little closed off. So maybe there's someone you're connected to where they're not an open book or they're a little closed off. Could be very possible. Either that or there is a situation you might be taking a step back from. That could be possible with this card. When it comes to communication, again, it's not really open, especially next to this Ace of Cups. It's like this energy is coming in wide open with a lot of potential. This one's kind of closed off. So you might be of two minds about something. So we'll want to look into this Hermit a little further. There's a lot of positives here. This is a card of wisdom. It's a card of someone being extremely intelligent, but there's also mystery involved with this card. It's usually depicted at nighttime. So let's put him there. That if anything's going to be a roadblock, it might be this Hermit. So we'll see what's up with it. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Emperor. Beautiful energy, my friends. Aries energy, which is your zodiacal neighbor. I have a lot of Aries placements myself. This is usually a card of initiation or initiating. It's a card of action, of course. The divine masculine counterpart to the Empress, which is one of your cards. If you're not connected to an Aries or anything like that, when I see this card, I do think of authority figures. Someone that calls the shots. So we think of managers, bosses, divine masculine individuals. It could be any and all of those things. For some of you, maybe you're going to step into a position of authority. That could be very possible when this card is here. But similar to the Magician, this card does have a lot of archetypes of control connected to it. So is there a situation that you are trying to control? Is there something that you can't quite control where it's kind of out of your hands? Could be possible when the Emperor shows up. The only big issue I see with this card is that sometimes it could be a little overbearing. Sometimes it could represent somebody that's doing a little too much or trying to control things or micromanage things a little too much. But we're just going to have to see, my friends. So yeah, Taurus, I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here. What's going on for my good friends? What's going on with Taurus? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Ace of Cups? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Ace of Cups time. What is going on with my good friends? What's all this potential about? I mean, this is a slow and steady approach, but I'm initially getting one thing, like someone's coming at something real quick, even with the Ace of Wands in reverse. So this could be Spirit telling you to take it slow and steady. Imagine trying to tell a Taurus to slow something down, but that could be very possible. When I see the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands in reverse, it could be Spirit saying, whoa, slow it down for a second there, Taurus. So that could be some advice, but this Ace of Wands in reverse underneath, like this feels like a back and forth to me. So I would say in this time, watch out for explosive talks or conversations. Now that can be good. When I talk about explosive, I mean that there's a sense of volatility to it. That means it could be something that erupts out of nowhere. It could be something that comes in out of nowhere. It could even sometimes be something that gets a little out of hand. So I would say just watch out for explosive conversation or talks in this time when I see these two together. Okay, because that's just what it's showing me. Now, we'll see how the rest of it plays out, but this could be a quiet period coming up next. The Ace of Wands has a lot of the same archetypes as this Ace of Cups, except it's fiery and it's action-oriented. So when it shows up in reverse, it could, to me, either be something cooling off, which could be good. Maybe some of you are going to have a conversation with somebody where it's like, all right, we talk it out, we figure out the problems, nice, cool, calm, level-headed. But I feel for a lot of you, when I see the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands in reverse, it could be something that gets a little too emotional or explosive in the conversational way. So we're just going to keep it moving. I mean, but for some of you, this can be rebuilding a bridge. I guess it depends on what your situation is, like if you even want to talk something through. But I do get this vibe from Spirit saying like, all right, well, slow it down, nice and easy. Don't rush into it. Let's keep going over to that Hermit. Let's see what this withdrawn energy is. Because right here up front, it's like coming, it's going. I felt very overwhelmed with the energy. This one's pulling back, so it's like that seesaw. Let's go in on the Hermit and see what's up. So why is the Hermit here for Taurus? Please. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune, good. Good. And I got something like this in the Scorpio reading, I believe it was last week, and that is your zodiacal counterpart, right? Taurus and Scorpio are right across from each other on the zodiacal wheel. So there's things that you guys do have in common. Now, when I see the Wheel of Fortune, that's my luck charm. Okay, yes, it is a card of rapid change. It could be things that happen suddenly or very quickly. It's also very karmic. So like there could be certain situations you're dealing with where they are very malleable. So just know if you're going through some tough situations, they can improve. If you're going through great situations, they could possibly devolve. Like to me, it feels very changeable what I'm picking up here in this reading for you this week, which is kind of odd. Usually Taurus energy is super firm. But the Wheel of Fortune is very positive to me. I feel like with whatever situations you're dealing with right now, whether it is work or interpersonal or even nothing, right? Some of you might just be cool. You might be chilling in hermit mode, and that could be our signifier. But I feel like a passive touch is going to get you the best results. So like you might achieve the most by doing nothing. I don't know why that message is coming through, but I'm just going to give it. When I feel it, I give it. So like your best approach might to just go hands off in regards to something, not everything, obviously. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is a good sign. Okay, it could also indicate some big change. So like I said, this energy is explosive, it's hot, it's coming in hard. This one is pulling back really quick. So there's a certain changeability with whatever it is you might be going through. Let's keep moving. We're not going to talk that into the ground. It is what it is. But I do think a passive approach might be the best, or to just observe something. I mean, a lot of things are coming through here. Let's see what that Emperor has to say, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Emperor here? What is going on with that Emperor? Please. Thank you. Eight of Wands, cool. In a more calm, collected manner. All right, and that makes sense because this is conversational as well. We have the Eight of Wands, which is a card of moving forward. This is very controlled and calculated right here on the back end. So if like you do need to approach a topic with somebody, yes, you should do it on your terms. But there is something here about controlled conversation, whether it's how you present yourself or how someone's presenting themselves to you. Remember, the Emperor does things a very particular way. Now, the Eight of Wands, similar to what we had up here in the front, it's very hot and heavy, it's coming in, but it feels more balanced. Remember how I said here, this felt like a lot. This one is pulling back. This one here on the back end feels very middle ground. So again, I feel like there could be a best of both worlds, like a bit of each approach. I do feel like overall this is a very positive energy, or mostly positive energy, I'm picking up for you this week. But the Emperor with the Eight of Wands and the upright, I mean, maybe there are some very important talks you need to have, because when I see this Emperor, that's either an authority figure or somebody or something of importance. And with this Eight of Wands, it's like, all right, well, this might be a conversation you need to have, or this might be a topic that you have to touch on for one reason or another. So you just take it and apply it to whatever story you're working through right now in life. But I think overall the energy does feel better, especially when we get to the back end here, because it's like not too much, not too little, just right. It's all about striking a balance. So let's go through and do a quick recap here. Lots of chatter, lots of chit chat this week, but if you kindly look in the box here, position number 1, we're starting with double aces, beautiful offer opportunity energy, but we have the Ace of Cups with the Ace of Wands in reverse. Now this did feel like an explosive talk or conversation where it's just like blah, like a lot of stuff happens at once. So this could be Spirit telling you, oh, not yet, slow it down. That's just the message that came through. So whether it's a talk that just pops up out of nowhere, or it's just very fired up. Moving to the center, we have the Hermit with the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Just as fired up as this is, this one's pulling its energy back. So it's like different extremes that I'm picking up here. And I also got the message that, hey, you might get the best results from a passive approach, like observe something and watch how it goes down, or just wait, bide your time. There is a malleable, changeable energy here as well. So like nothing is set in stone. Moving to the back end, we have the Emperor with the Eight of Wands in the upright. So having a nice, calm, middle ground presentation, or just moving forward in a nice, calm way is really good. You could still accomplish what you want to accomplish, but there could be certain topics that are of importance or seriousness that you really need to touch on, and there needs to be a balance of how it's spoken about. So Taurus, please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows here. So let's get a good shuffle. Let's see what the shadow is for Taurus here. The guides, talk to me. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow card, my good friends. What's in the shadows for Taurus, please? This week in early November. Thank you. Okay, Ten of Wands, that you're getting a lot of fire energy for some reason. Like even in the main part of the spread, 3 of the cards are fiery. 4 if you're counting the wheel, which I linked to Saggy. But we have the Ten of Wands showing up here. This card to me can feel a little burdensome. It can feel a little heavy for a portion of you. Be very health conscious in this time. This could be Spirit maybe saying like, hey, Taurus, just pay attention to your health and well-being. That could definitely be the case, because I was picking this up in other earth signs this week as well. So it's interesting that yours shows up as the shadow version of it. Now, this could be physical, mental, emotional. It's just a lot. So just watch that nothing is like too burdensome. It's all about how you pace yourself, especially if we take from what we saw here within the reading. Don't do too much too quick. Don't do too little. It's all about having that nice middle path when I see this. Now, this is a very determined card when the Ten of Wands shows up, and it can speak about, you know, reaching your end goal or not stopping, not giving up, and that's Taurus energy if I've ever heard it. So this could be Spirit saying like, listen, just keep moving, keep going. This could be really good. For some of you, I know this is hyper specific. Watch areas of your neck, back, and spine in this time. This is my card that links to that. So maybe if you're holding tension there, you might want to get a little rubbed down. But yeah, Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.